Imagine turning on your computer and realizing you no longer need to worry about expensive licenses, forced updates, hidden telemetry, or an operating system deciding how your computer should behave. That idea once sounded unrealistic to the average PC user, but in 2026 it has become a reality for millions around the world. Quietly, almost unnoticed by mainstream headlines, Linux has entered a new era. What was once considered an operating system only for programmers and tech enthusiasts has evolved into a polished, user-friendly platform that is attracting students, gamers, creators, businesses, and everyday families. This isn't a sudden explosion or a flashy marketing campaign. It's a silent revolution happening one installation at a time, and the numbers suggest that more people than ever are making the switch. For decades, Windows dominated personal computing with little competition. Most people accepted that buying a PC meant using Windows, whether they liked it or not. But the landscape has changed dramatically over the past few years. Users have become increasingly frustrated with mandatory online accounts, intrusive advertisements inside the operating system, aggressive data collection, frequent background updates, and hardware requirements that leave perfectly capable computers behind. Many users who upgraded expecting a better experience instead found themselves searching for alternatives. That's where Linux stepped in, not as a niche experiment, but as a mature and reliable solution. One of the biggest reasons people are switching is freedom. Linux gives users complete control over their computers. Instead of the operating system making decisions behind the scenes, users decide what software they install, when updates happen, and how the desktop looks and behaves. This level of customization was once considered something only advanced users would appreciate, but now even casual users enjoy having an operating system that respects their choices rather than forcing them into a specific ecosystem. Another major factor driving Linux adoption is performance. Modern Linux distributions are incredibly lightweight compared to many commercial operating systems. A laptop that struggles with Windows 11 can often run Linux smoothly, breathing new life into hardware that would otherwise end up in a drawer or a landfill. Instead of spending hundreds of dollars on a new computer, many users discover they can install Linux in under an hour and enjoy faster boot times, improved responsiveness, and significantly better battery life. The environmental impact of this trend shouldn't be overlooked either. Millions of computers are discarded every year simply because they no longer meet modern operating system requirements. Linux extends the lifespan of aging hardware, reducing electronic waste while saving users money. Schools, charities, and developing countries have embraced Linux as an affordable way to keep computers useful for many additional years. Gaming, once Linux's greatest weakness, has become one of its strongest selling points, thanks to advancements in compatibility technologies like Proton and the continued support from game developers. Thousands of popular Windows games now run exceptionally well on Linux. The success of Linux-powered gaming devices has also changed public perception. Many gamers who once believed Linux meant sacrificing their favorite titles now realize they can enjoy impressive gaming performance without leaving the open-source ecosystem. Content creators are joining the movement as well. Video editors, graphic designers, musicians, and programmers now have access to powerful open-source applications that rival expensive commercial software. Programs for video editing, 3D animation, digital art, music production, and software development continue to improve every year. Combined with Linux's stability and efficient resource management, creators often find themselves spending more time producing content and less time troubleshooting system issues. Artificial intelligence has unexpectedly contributed to Linux's popularity too. Developers building AI models, running machine learning workloads, or experimenting with local AI assistants frequently choose Linux because of its superior compatibility with development tools and hardware acceleration. As AI becomes a standard part of everyday computing, many users naturally become familiar with Linux through these technologies before eventually adopting it as their primary operating system. Security remains another compelling advantage. Linux has long been respected for its strong security architecture, but in 2026 that reputation matters more than ever. With ransomware attacks, phishing campaigns, and privacy concerns becoming increasingly common, users appreciate an operating system that emphasizes transparency and security. Open-source software allows vulnerabilities to be identified and patched quickly by a global community rather than relying on a single company's internal schedule. While no operating system is immune to threats, Linux's design makes many common attacks significantly more difficult. Businesses are also fueling this quiet revolution. Companies looking to reduce software licensing costs have increasingly adopted Linux for workstations and servers alike. Cloud computing already runs predominantly on Linux, and as organizations embrace hybrid work environments, employees become more comfortable using Linux both professionally and personally. The familiarity gained at work often encourages people to install Linux on their home computers as well. Education has played a major role too. Universities and schools increasingly teach programming, cybersecurity, networking, and data science using Linux. Students entering the workforce already understand the operating system, removing one of the traditional barriers to adoption. Instead of viewing Linux as something unfamiliar, an entire generation now sees it as a normal part of computing. Perhaps the biggest change, however, is how easy Linux has become to use. Installing a Linux distribution today is often no more difficult than installing Windows itself. Modern installers guide users through each step with clean interfaces and helpful explanations. Hardware detection works remarkably well, printers connect automatically, Wi-Fi functions immediately, and software can often be installed from graphical app stores with a single click. The intimidating command line still exists for those who want it, but many users can comfortably use Linux for years without ever opening a terminal window. The variety of Linux distributions is another strength rather than a weakness. Some distributions focus on simplicity for beginners, others prioritize stability for professionals, while others offer cutting-edge software for enthusiasts. Whether someone wants a desktop that resembles Windows, Mac OS, or something entirely unique, Linux provides countless options without forcing users into one design philosophy. Community support has also transformed the Linux experience. Online forums, video tutorials, documentation, and social media communities have grown tremendously over the past decade. New users rarely feel alone because millions of experienced Linux enthusiasts willingly share solutions, advice, and recommendations. Users' collaborative spirit has become one of Linux's greatest assets, creating an ecosystem where helping newcomers is considered part of the culture. Even major hardware manufacturers have started recognizing the growing demand. More laptops, desktops, and handheld devices now ship with Linux pre-installed or officially supported. This removes compatibility concerns and gives buyers confidence that everything will function correctly from the moment they power on their device. The rise of Linux doesn't necessarily mean Windows will disappear. Windows will remain an important operating system for many businesses, specialized applications, and users who depend on specific software. But for the first time in decades, millions of people are realizing they have a genuine alternative that is free, modern, secure, and capable of meeting nearly every daily computing need. The shift isn't happening because of flashy advertising or billion-dollar marketing campaigns. It's happening because people are recommending Linux to friends, family, co-workers, and classmates after discovering how enjoyable the experience has become. History often remembers revolutions as dramatic events, but many of the most important technological changes happen quietly. One person installs Linux on an old laptop, another switches after becoming frustrated with forced updates. A student discovers Linux at university. A gamer realizes their favorite titles run perfectly. A creator finds open-source tools that meet every requirement. Individually, these decisions seem small, but together they represent a profound shift in personal computing. In 2026, Linux is no longer simply an alternative operating system. It has become a symbol of user choice, digital freedom, and community-driven innovation. The quiet OS revolution is no longer just beginning, it is already underway, and millions of users are proving that the future of personal computing may not belong to the loudest platform, but to the one that quietly empowers everyone.